One side note on Michelle Obama, can we just note how overrated she is? And like all the hype around Michelle Obama, oh, she's going to run for office. And she's just, I don't want to get into the aesthetics of all of it, but the presentation of her podcast is terrible.
Joan Rivers said that Michelle Obama was a man before she died.
Was that a joke? I thought it was a joke.
I thought it was a joke too, but the way she said it wasn't like jokey. She was like, oh, come on, everybody knows Michelle Obama's a man. Like, remember that?
Yeah, like, would Big Mike kill you for that?
Joe Rogan and Charlie Kirk didn't need more than 5 minutes to turn the polished public image of Michelle Obama into a running punchline. One brought blunt podcast grit, the other writhed like a caffeine-fueled college debater together. They smashed the carefully controlled brand like a gluten-free cookie at a Texas BBQ. No signature calm on display. What followed looked less like legacy and more like a motivational poster. Left out in a rainstorm, this wasn't a discussion, it was a roast with facts, sarcasm, and zero restraint.
Trying to look at people's looks, that's not what I'm doing. I'm just saying the whole aura of it, to use a Gen Z term, is terrible. It's negative. It's just kind of her lamenting, and then she's obviously, there's problems with her daughters and all that. I don't want to get...
The PR machine still runs full throttle, trying to polish a statue made of contradictions. There's the story of a grassroots champion, a caligrowing symbol of hope, all wrapped in an image that lives somewhere between political icon and whole foods royalty. It's like recording a podcast on minimalism while riding in a gold-plated Bentley sponsored by Gucci. The contradiction isn't hidden, it's advertised.
To see everybody having a good time, the country's almost back to normal before World War III. COVID was just so strange. We lost a lot of people during COVID, and most of them are still alive. Before COVID, I would have told you that vaccines are the most important invention in human history. After COVID, I'm like, I don't think we went to the moon. I think Michelle Obama's got a dick. I think Pizzagate is real. I think there's direct energy weapons and...
Joe Rogan didn't need to lift a weight or launch a monologue. One look, one eyebrow raise. One dry "what are we doing" in the image collapsed like a stale vegan snack in a Malibu pantry. While mainstream media treats this public figure like Queen Beyoncé's thoughtful twin, Rogan's silence and side-eye did more than an entire panel of analysts. When an image depends on vibes and book deals, it doesn't take much to pop the illusion.
Calling out Oprah and Michelle Obama for hypocritical speeches at the DNC Watch.
She's up there talking about income inequality. Like, hey, lady.
Yeah, I know.
You're rich as Like, how is that equal? And also, when Michelle Obama was saying, you know, I think she was saying her mother or grandmother was always suspicious of people who took more than they needed.
Yes.
Like, you are worth so much money.
Take more than they need. The Obamas have 4 mansions.
Charlie Kirk spotted the gap like a raccoon finding a dropped hot dog. Critics may call out his methods, but one thing's certain: this guy understands political theater. Fresh off memoir number 5, documentary number 4, and another glossy magazine cover titled "Why I'm Still Relatable," the spotlight performance landed with a thud. This is the same public voice that denounced politics, then immediately launched a nationwide voter campaign big enough to float a Thanksgiving parade. Add in another Netflix feature about being misunderstood, and the irony deepens. Misunderstood by who exactly? The state staff on the Vineyard.
Built up on the right, Michelle Obama is going to be the hardest person ever to run against, and her book sold so many copies. And my goodness, you want to talk about the most overrated political hype of a generation? It would go to Michelle Obama. Anyway, that's just a side note that's been on my mind for a while.
I'm happy to make fun of her look. It's very strange. It was Benny Johnson who dubbed that one hairstyle the Stegosaurus.
I'm not getting into that.
She 3 bumps on the back, Stegosaurus. It's very...
Rogan couldn't even get through the recap without breaking down laughing. Emotional speeches about the hardship of White House life, complete with chefs, stylists, and a security team that could stop traffic turned into comedy material. It sounds like the White House was hand-built, then rented out on Airbnb just to survive, Rogan joked. Across the table, Kirk looked like someone handed him rules for radicals wrapped in constitutional leather. A claim of invisibility came next, eyes from someone who can land a Vogue cover with a sneeze. Rogan asked the real question: does invisibility mean sunglasses and Whole Foods security escorts? Now Kirk called it elite vanishing, something only possible with wealth, fame, and upper-level connections. And when the book tour rolls out, complete with $400 seats and standing ovations for a story about cardigan trauma on daytime talk shows, not a single advisor suggests skipping the struggle chapter.
Yep,
this is what they think of. This is what they think of Republican women.
Of course. I mean, look, first of all, just like the embedded kind of just implied chauvinism that all of our relationships in the Trump world are like, we tell our wives exactly what to do. It's like, okay, no, we all have agency, okay? Secondly, I just have to comment on this. She's really lost a step. Just embedded in her language is like, she's really let Donald Trump break her.
And then there's the school food legacy. Vending machines across the country were emptied, replaced with kale chips, fruit leather, and a sticky note that read, "Because Michelle said so." Joe Rogan remembered biting into one of the new options described as cardboard dipped in sadness. Kirk never stopped claiming it was part of a broader mission to raise weaker kids, unable to resist state control. Even so, the media keeps tossing praise like rose petals with every new apparently in outfits priced higher than a month's rent for the people being addressed. As Rogan put it, walk into an event wearing a swan carcass and Vanity Fair will call it modesty with impact. Meanwhile, political intentions keep bouncing between denial and soft signals that feel more campaign trailer than casual commentary. A tailored pantsuit drops into a stadium, vague lines about unity hit the mic, and then it's off to the next arena tour. Kirk gave it a name, the longest political tease in American history. Rogan asked what everyone's thinking if there's no campaign planned. Why does every speech sound like practice for a presidential podium?
She used to have, don't you agree? She used to present a lot better and with like more zest and more energy and more intensity. It's like this Michelle Obama just looks broken. She's kind of doing the wine mom thing, and she's just kind of like, I'm just kind of meandering through life. Anyway, I'm not upset about
populated
it.
Populated like every 30 seconds with, what about me?
Let's also unpack
that bizarre attempt to become the nation's mother figure still baffling. Joe Rogan nearly lost it when that everyone's mom claim resurfaced. My mom never gave lectures with a podium and a lighting team, he scoffed. CharlieKirk jumped in. Even harder, nobody voted for this, and if quinoa gets pushed one more time, it's full-on rebellion. It's always the same script. Start with a vague line about the soul of the nation. Follow up with a glowing photo captioned with something like when they go low. I rebrand organic hand lotion, then finish with a tear-filled media tour about being misunderstood right before launching another globe-spanning, substance-free initiative. Meanwhile, Bark floats through post-presidency like a mashup of Jays and a TEDx speaker, while the other half of the power couple continues claiming invisibility. Rogan pointed out the cosmic joke, living in the most protected, photographed house in America, yet claiming to feel unseen. Maybe it's invisibility to people with actual jobs, he quipped. Becau's gas prices and loan debt have regular folks too busy to care about Target all struggles. Kirk didn't let it slide either. Yacht parties with tech billionaires don't scream man of the people. Champagne next to Bezos on a mega yacht, not exactly grassroots.
No, Michelle is a
I'm sorry, she's a what?
a transgender. We all know.
Oh my gosh.
That's pretty funny how she said it.
Okay, we all know it.
That new children's book about hope and kindness? About as useful as glitter glue during a house fire. Rogan summed it up. Optimism is great, but selling it like a TED Talk while jetting to Aspen. That's theater. Kirk called it emotional window. Dressing meant to trigger applause, not action. The brand has officially turned into a living Pinterest board, quotes, couture, and pretend humility. Think live, laugh, love vibes holding a $4,000 yoga mat. Rogan didn't need insults. Just listing the contradictions did the job. One message gets delivered. The lifestyle says the opposite. Kirk pulled receipts, policies, timelines, costs. The school lunch initiative ended up producing overpriced meals kids refused to eat. The post-White House brand relies on emotional vulnerability paired with untouchable status. Cue the waterworks, cue the applause, challenge anything, cue the saint defense. Rogan laughed, invincible unless it's a valid question, and still. The media insists on calling this person relatable like diamond sweatpants. Or a Whole Foods clearance section. Kirk's final jab: if that's relatability, then I'm a synchronized swimming unicorn.
Harris comes back as the vice president. Michelle Obama's the president. We get a double dose of diversity.
They'll win.
Let's go, champ.
They'll win. And then who's on the Republican side? DeSantis?
Trump and DeSantis. They have to make a super team. It's the only way they win.
Interesting.
That's the only way they win.
So let me be as honest and clear as I possibly can. Donald Trump is the wrong president for our country. He has had more than enough time to prove that he can do the job, but he is clearly in over his head. He cannot meet this moment. He simply cannot be who we need him to be for us. It is what...
By the time Rogan and Kirk finished, the illusion was dust. This isn't a case of someone avoiding politics, it's politics incarnate, the upscale. Emotion-first Instagram-glist flavor that thrives on aesthetic over action. If a run for office ever gets announced, forget campaign ads, just replay the saga backward for more clarity. Rogan's dry roast met Kirk's conservative flamethrower and made any future messaging instantly irrelevant. The perfect follow-up, a new children's book titled Why Criticism Hurts Even If You're a Billionaire, complete with glittery tear stickers and an opera-narrated audiobook backed by Beyonce vocals that would match the current branding celebrity. Empathy packaged for sale when the spotlight turns in this direction. It waits for permission first, no quiet entrance here, expect curated lights, timed applause, and a custom wind machine imported from a luxury accor treat. Meanwhile, rent is due and the kale complaints are getting airtime on cable news. Rogan and Kirk peeled back the grin and found not resilience but a well-lit reality show. With designer grief and perfectly timed tears, charisma, sure, but charisma sealed tighter than inspected luggage filled with branded avocados.
Then left to write her best-selling memoir for which she was paid millions, then signed a Netflix deal for which she was paid millions, is giving speeches for which she's getting paid almost $1 million per speech, has 2 daughters who went to Harvard and USC. The two of them together, I haven't even counted her husband's riches. They're definitely billionaires by now. The house in Martha's Vineyard, which is, I think, $20 million out on the yachts of David. What happened to me? Why doesn't anyone think about what happened to me during my... I'm enraged. I'm almost speechless at how ridiculously out of touch.
The messaging mastery is real, every word crafted to say everything while revealing absolutely nothing. Let's Rise gets delivered while common sense gets stepped on in 6-inch stilettos. Rogan dubbed it the Wizard of Oz formula, plenty of smoke, no wizard. Kirk's metaphor, a motivational screensaver, smooth, attractive, and completely useless in a blackout. So next time a teary op-ed arrives from a Himalayan spa suite, Rogan and Kirk will be locked, loaded, and probably holding a banned snack as protest. While this polished figure floats on green smoothies and curated empathy, average people still crawl through daily gridlock wondering how personal struggle fits into a private jet lifestyle. Rogan's eye roll replaced volumes of think pieces. Kirk, meanwhile, launched that brand image straight into satire space, documentaries, monologues. Books known can outlast reality, the pedestals cracking, the glitters thinning, and the most out-of-touch element left, probably the Wi-Fi signal. In Martha's Vineyard,